Hello everyone, Happy New Year. My name is Gary Waterman. It's now Sunday the 7th of January 2024. Now, I was a police officer for 18 years and I don't think I'm exaggerating when I say that the following sets of videos that I do are possibly the most important you will ever see. It's very sad for me to say, but I have uncovered overwhelming evidence, and it is evidence that shows that the government has been involved in national fraud against the general public, utilising the taxation system, the unregulated company's house registration system, and forged bank documents, and that has been happening for decades. Now, it's important that I show evidence, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to show publicly available legal documents and evidential change through those documents supporting everything I'm telling you. It's important that you see that evidence, but also the government, so that they are compelled to change the system. And it can be changed, and it must be changed. Now, I suspect that this system of fraud that's been allowed to happen, by the way, by the government, since the incorporation of Companies House in 1844, is the root cause of most of the problems across the world over the last few decades. This includes wars, people trafficking, paedophile rings, drug trafficking, immigration problems, the PPE scandals that we're looking at on the news all the time lately. You name it, it is all linked through to this system. And that is because the government has been allowing companies to trade as illegal entities, which I'll come on to. Of course, if they're illegal, whether that be they're using false details in their incorporation, or Companies House registrations has been forged or altered to allow that trading to happen, then obviously they cannot be held accountable for anything they're involved in. It's very difficult to prosecute someone, whether it be legally or through criminal processes or civil processes, if they don't actually exist, or the company is not legal, or the address they used has no connection to their company. But yet that has been allowed to happen by Companies House. So it must stop. And it can stop. And I'm going to show systems and methods that can be put in place to stop it peacefully, before it becomes such a big problem that people will uprise potentially against the government to overthrow them, which will cause death, which it does not need to happen. Now, I actually suspect that this system of fraud is so serious that they have infiltrated the educational system and even rewritten history itself to enable this fraud to continue. I suspect that they have deliberately allowed alcohol and prescribed and non-prescribed drugs to be so readily available to the public that it suppresses them, causing depression, causing anxiety and fear, to allow this system of fraud to continue and to prevent people from waking up to see what's happening and has been happening right under our noses and actually show the evidence. Now, I think we've all known there's been something wrong with the world over the last few decades. My dad certainly did. This is it. Now, why am I doing this? Well, I've been a Christian for around 4 years, but whether you've got a faith in a religion or not, I think we all agree that our basis in life on how we treat others should be how we would want to be treated. We would, of course, not want to be victims, so we should not create victims in others. This is especially important with people in positions of authority, such as the police and members of the parliament. However, that does not appear to have been happening. It doesn't matter what skin colour, what background, what our culture, where we're from. We can all live peacefully together if we have that principle as our basis on how we treat others. Of course, alcohol and drugs changes our influence and causes irrational actions towards others. That's why we have so many problems when you're in the police with alcohol and drugs. You know, a lot of the problems were related to those substances. But it appears as though the government have allowed that to happen. So, I believe I've been given this evidence, for a reason. And I think that is to act as a messenger, to allow an opportunity and compel, in fact, a change in the system. To allow those involved in this system, and there will be many, many people, to look at what they're doing, look at the evidence and see what they're part of. Turn away from what they are doing, which they know to be wrong now. And I believe it's sin. If you know what you're doing is wrong and you carry it out, it's a sin. Save yourselves as well as everyone else. But it's also an opportunity for those that didn't know about this to look at the evidence carefully. It is evidence. I'm not making any of this up. You will see. And be part of that change. This is absolutely necessary before it is too late. This could be one of the last opportunities to change things. This needs to be grabbed. And we need to take this opportunity to change things peacefully through this method. I'm going to do emails to members of the Parliament, you'll see, and they're also going to get links to these evidential documents. Things are already happening. They've already made movements with the previous emails that I've sent. Okay, that includes people being removed from heads of organisations, government reshuffles, chief constables being moved, deputy chief constables being moved. You'll see all this in my videos. So it's already changing things. It's being discussed in Parliament. There's news articles coming out about it all the time. Keir Starmer, you'll see the other day, he came on and mentioned very relative to what I'm talking about. It's all because the evidence is coming out. But this will be the game changer. This evidence is going to be overwhelming to enable change, providing they do the right things. Anyway, I've talked too much. I've tried my best in the videos. They're very long. That's because I'm showing all the evidential links. Please bear with me. I'm not great at them. But here we go. God bless you all.